When I was 11, something terrible happened in the town of Dredge Hollow. It began without warning. One morning in early October, we woke to find hundreds of balloons scattered throughout the town, crimson red, shiny and perfect, swaying in the windless air. They were tied to sewer grates, nailed to telephone poles, stuffed inside mailboxes, and lining the iron fence of the old cemetery. They even floated inside the library, tethered to bookshelves in the children's section. No one saw who placed them there. No one claimed credit. No pranks, no viral stunts. Just there. The local newspaper printed photos on the front page, calling it a harmless Halloween hijink. Everyone smiled, took pictures, posted on their Facebook pages. Kids took selfies. Parents laughed. Then the children started disappearing. The first was Leo Murney from Maple Lane. Then two sisters, Kaylee and June, from the trailer park near the river. Their beds were slept in, doors locked from the inside, no signs of struggle. Then it was Will Torres, Rachel Denton, Parker Green. 8 in total by the end of the week. The police said they were runaways, that Halloween brings out the worst in kids and rumors. But the rest of us, especially us kids, we knew better. We'd seen the balloons, and we'd heard the laughter. It started softly at first, at night when the house was quiet. A chuckling, gurgling sound like water draining through thick pipes. But it wasn't water. It sounded like someone trying to laugh without lungs. Sometimes it came from behind walls. Other times it drifted up through floor vents or whispered behind closet doors. I heard it twice in the bathroom, once when brushing my teeth, and again while sitting in the dark, trying not to breathe. It wasn't joyful. It wasn't even deranged. It was wet, guttural, like something was choking on its own laughter. And then came the smell, sickly sweet, like cotton candy left in the sun too long. But beneath it, something else, something cloying and rotten, the stink of wet meat, spoiled fruit, and stale breath. You could taste it in the back of your throat. Some kids said it made their teeth itch. And then it happened to me. Micah, my little brother, he was 7. Small for his age, but bold and curious. He came into my room late one night, wide-eyed and trembling. He said he saw the balloon man outside the bedroom window, that he was smiling without moving his face, that his teeth never stopped clicking. I told him it was just a dream. I told him to go back to sleep. That was the last time I saw him. The next morning, Micah was gone. His bed was empty, the front door still locked from the inside. His shoes were found outside, just beside the storm drain behind our school. Tied to one of the laces was a single red balloon. It pulsed softly, like it was breathing. That afternoon, I went back to the drain. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't know what I planned to do, only that I had to go. I had to see. The metal grate slid aside with surprising ease, as if it had been oiled for my arrival. I slipped inside, flashlight in hand, the dark swallowing me instantly. The world above vanished. There was no wind, no sound. The tunnel was cold. The concrete walls wept with moisture. I walked for what felt like hours, hunched beneath the low ceiling. My flashlight began to flicker. The air thickened like breathing through a wet cloth. Then the walls started to change. They softened, visibly pulsing with each step as though the tunnel itself had grown. Organic. I pressed on. Then I heard it. The laughter. Close now, echoing in strange patterns, some behind me, some ahead, and beneath it, chewing. A wet, rhythmic tearing of flesh. I slowed, every instinct screaming at me to turn around. But I didn't, because I saw the light, faint and red, like the glow of brake lights in thick fog. I crept forward until I reached the opening. I peered around the curve of the wall, and there it was. Not a clown, not really. Clowns are people dressed in costumes. This was something else, something older, something wrong. It wore the idea of a clown the way a predator might wear the skin of its prey. Its face was painted crudely, like a child had drawn it with trembling hands, cheeks too red, lines smeared and jagged. Its eyes were mismatched, one a dead, cloudy doll's eye, the other bulging, wet and twitching. Its mouth, it didn't end. The lips were stretched and cracked, pulled back far beyond what skin should allow. Inside were rows of tiny, needle-like teeth that clicked together like clockwork. It didn't speak. It grinned, and behind it, dozens, maybe hundreds, of balloons, each one floating gently, glowing softly, pulsing like a heart. Each had a name written on it. I searched the names in terror. And then I found Micah's. The balloon twitched, like something inside was trying to escape. The creature reached out with an impossibly long arm, its fingers bent in too many places, and pointed to Micah's balloon. Then it waved me forward, its wrist jerked with unnatural spasms. I didn't move, so it crawled. Backward, fast, its head twisted on its neck, body jerking like a spider forced into human skin. It scuttled back toward the balloons, dragging its swollen body along the wet floor, laughter bubbling from deep inside its throat. That broke me. I ran. The tunnel shrieked as I fled, walls pulsing and narrowing, the floor growing slick. Something brushed my ankle, long and thin and cold. I screamed. I didn't stop. The light vanished. I kept crawling, scraping my knees raw until I burst through the opening and found myself in my backyard. I was covered in filth. My flashlight was gone. My body ached, and clutched in my right hand was a string tied to a single shriveled red balloon. Micah's name was still on it. No one believed me. Not my parents, not the police. They said I wandered off, that my grief had made me imagine it, that trauma is strange, that it takes the shape of monsters. But the disappearances stopped. The town sealed the storm drains, moved on. Dredge Hollow returned to normal, as if it had never happened. But I remembered. I never forgot. And now, 20 years later, the balloons are back. At first, just one or two, then a dozen, then more. They line the fences at the new elementary school. They bob gently outside the grocery store. One was tied to my mailbox this morning. And last night, my daughter came into my room. She was trembling, pale, clutching something in her hands. It was a balloon, deflated, cold. She looked up at me with wide eyes and whispered, "Daddy, the clown says he remembers you."
When the night gets bright and the stars align, we stir up dreams in cosmic time. A little stardust, a little tune, you're mixing it with the